All right, all right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Romantic or Fortitude and Happy. Romantic opening things up as the yellow human player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Let's go ahead and get that to the 2-minute mark of the game. Meanwhile, Happy opening things up as the blue undead. Undead versus human. Well, it should be a pretty classic matchup here as we're waiting to see the heroes of choice. It will be a Lich first going up against an Archmage. Lich first with that earlier Frost Nova being able to, well, use extra damage, range, auto attack, but at the cost of being able to heal early on. Meanwhile, Archmage already on the move, gets a couple of militia, and here we are off to the races. Early play trying to clear out some of these creep camps. And this Ogre Warrior creep camp will get taken down, picking up a Ring of Protection +4. No, well, chroma key issues for me this time around. Meanwhile, this Forest Troll Berserker looks like it will get cleaned up as well. Off to the north, Footman doing a little bit of superficial damage to that Ultra of Darkness as this Lich comes across here. Oh, what was that? A Ghoul ends up falling. All right, so uncharacteristic, yeah, not a typical characteristic of Happy at all. Losing a Ghoul early on, currently sitting at 21/30 supply. We'll see, does he train up another Ghoul? Yes, he does. And this may actually set him behind on lumber for a little bit. Archmage of Romantic looking to go after this Null Warden creep camp, but the timing is going to be he's going to aggro the creeps just as, well, the Lich comes over. Are we going to see some easy damage? Who's going to get that experience? Is the Lich going to get it? No, Lich does not get up to level 2. There's level 2 now on that Lich, going to go after some of that damage, trying to finish off some of those units. Tome of Agility is picked up there. Skeletal Minions, I believe, were able to get that damage. Meanwhile, Lich, well, yeah, Skeletal Minions or the Ghouls were able to get that damage. There goes another unit. There's a Purge onto a Footman here as more damage still getting racked up onto that Lich once more. Water Elemental getting summoned up, going to turn back around, try to get some damage onto that Ghoul. Not quite sure why he actually allowed that Ghoul to get into the position or to get away a little bit, as we're still seeing more damage getting racked up onto another trailing Ghoul again. Damage is just getting added in more and more. We do see a couple of Dark Rituals in addition to that, in addition to that regeneration. Water Elemental, is he going to try and purposely aggro the creeps? Yes, he is. Now going to go ahead and attack back the other way. There's some damage onto that Lich as well. I believe the Lich does get the ultimate kill there as the Archmage now looks to finish off this Null Overseer and this Null Warden. Circuit of Nobility going to be a nice item pickup for the Archmage as Militia now being forced to try and retreat back. New Water Elemental getting summoned up. Archmage trying to run around along the backside. Going to find himself, well, taking a lot of damage here. Lich is going to go for another Frost Nova. No, not quite yet. Ghouls are going to still try and engage. There's a little bit of superficial damage. That's a bit dangerous as Romantic now looks to back away. Tech to Tier 2 has not been started. Tech to Tier 2 halfway done by Happy, so we should be looking at a Death Knight following things up here momentarily. Lich also with, well, no more items and no backpack upgrade, so there's that Lich, well, only Claws of Attack +5 and a Sacrificial Skull to gain some blight somewhere if he wants to try and get some regeneration the old-fashioned way. Expansion is being set up here. Footman and Water Elemental hanging back in order to get that economic advantage going. Meanwhile, Archmage may try and test the waters, sees the Lich. Are we going to see some damage? No, Archmage just simply just going to run on by here, extremely low on hit points, and Archmage could find himself in a little bit of trouble. He's going to try and heal some health at the Fountain of Health. Does he? Well, is he going to aggro the creeps? No, he's trying not to aggro. He's just trying to retreat away again. Lich does not have Boots of Speed as the Ghoul is now getting in front. Archmage down to 171 hit points and will be forced to retreat all the way back, well, to his opponent's base, oddly enough. Retreating back to his opponent's base, finding room on the map to maneuver and double back around. All right. Meanwhile, Lich has some ideas of some Frost Nova play. There goes one peasant already down. Another peasant looks like it's going to get taken out as well. That one is denied. Lich doesn't have that much mana, though, and we could be looking at a slight engagement here once more. Another low hit point Ghoul trying to retreat back. Archmage is actually creeping off of the north side here, and this is going to give the Archmage level 3, picks up a Ring of Superiority, so +4 to every stat, as we see the Death Knight now in a play. Alright, interestingly enough, is the Water Elemental going to try to go after the Slaughterhouse? No, it is not. Death Knight is getting trained up here. Lich is nearby, could throw down a Frost Nova. This is potentially dangerous, as we can see that Lich, well, could easily get in some killing blows. Are we going to see another hit there? No, Ghoul is able to escape away at 10 hit points, and Happy able to micro his way out of a dangerous situation, get that Ghoul back on Blight, checking the tier 3 now as the Death Knight trains up. Alright, with the introduction of the Death Knight and that burst heal, the Archmage, as a very squishy hero, could potentially be at risk. We are taking the tier 2. It's still only about well, less than a quarter of the way through, so there is going to be a significant delay on when that hero comes out for Romantic, that second hero. Meanwhile, a couple of footmen, well, trying to run back away from that fountain of health. They got a little bit of hit points here, as the Lich is going to try and engage, perhaps get a Frost Nova down and slow down some of these units. However, the Lich still doesn't have enough mana, as we don't have enough Obsidian statues out on the battlefield yet to, well, have a very effective Death Coil Frost Nova combination. Archmage going to be running on over. We see some repairs in play to try and keep that Scout Tower. Scout Tower not going to hold steady. Finally gets taken down. This Scout Tower also taking quite a bit of damage as well. Archmage not going to be able to save it, so we only see one Arcane Tower at this point, as the Arcane Tower has not been hitting the enemy heroes. Archmage trying to retreat back around, I believe. Well, Obsidian Statue now providing some hit points, and this is going to be a very strong push by the Undead. Happy, however, does need a little bit more mana on that Death Knight. Low hit point Ghouls are trying to fight back here, and we're still looking at the Footmen, who ventured a little bit too far in the chase, could have some troubles. Death Knight, wow, amongst all this, Lich now down to 91 hit points, 47, able to regroup and get back together. Is the Death Knight going to have enough for a Death Coil here? That is the question. Lich is getting ready to engage. Death Knight should be coming across with the Death Coil. One more shot. There's the Death Coil, but it still would have survived. Obsidian Statues providing a little bit of heal, but the Death Knight now in some serious trouble here. All right, trying to break free out of this surround. There's a Frost Nova. There's a deny. Death Knight still in a little bit of trouble here. Death Knight could end up getting taken down at level 1. It falls over, as the Archmage still sitting at level 3, perhaps trying to give a little bit of chase towards all of these units. Tech to tier 3, tier 2 nearly completed. We should be looking at a Mountain King getting trained up back at home, and no sign of tier 3 as of yet. We do see a Lumber Mill, no Arcane Sanctums either. Perhaps just trying to train up some, get that Blacksmith up, and perhaps go to tier 3 for some Knights and eventual Fly Machines from the workshop. Engaging back and forth, Water Elemental still getting a little bit of that, well, splash damage right there. We're looking at the Footman and the Archmage retreating back. Clarity Potions, Potion of Healing, all the things that an Archmage needs if he's going up against, well, will soon be a level 3 Lich. Death Knight back out on the battlefield, gonna go ahead and regroup right here. Obsidian Statue is taking a little bit of damage. Archmage trying to, well, disrupt as the Lich, well, is going to be just shy of level 3, I believe, with the presence of the Death Knight, taking just a little bit of the experience that would have gone to that Lich. Both sides still fighting. Lich, well, is going to get, Archmage is going to get tapped right here. Mountain King could try and engage. Perhaps we're going to see a Stormbolt. Dark Ranger as the third and final hero. Meanwhile, we are taking the tier 3 and Water Elementals. Romantic's army is rather small. We're going to see a Death Coil. We do, and it is in time. Meanwhile, Water Elemental about to get finished off. It does get taken down. Lich now gets up to level 3. Level 2 Frost Novas are on the table now, as we do see some guard towers being able to protect the farm table, so to speak, as both sides are still fighting again here. Archmage needs to drop in some more Water Elementals. However, the Destroyers, well, look at those Water Elementals as delicious fodder, being able to get a little bit of mana to get a bit of additional splash damage against all of these heavy armored units. Coming back the other way, Skeletal Minion quickly taken down. Mountain King gonna perhaps try and engage against all of these Ghouls here. Ghouls able to retreat back. Romantic well, having to deal with a large army, 40 supply compared to 24, that is a drastic difference. But Romantic is hoping that the economic advantage will eventually push him into the lead. We can see some fly machines already out onto the battlefield. They are still just constantly getting cranked out, and we could be looking at some knights as well to help their ground presence. All right, fly machines going straight after the destroyer. However, the destroyer looks like it's going to be able to finish off one flying machine there. Archmage looking to finish off the rest of the trapper creep camp. That's going to get taken down. Archmage is at 3, Mountain King is at 1, compared to a 3-2-1 for the undead. Looking for a possible engagement. There's a bit of fly machine flacking. Oh, what was that? Suddenly, the entangle from the Forest Troll Trapper bringing the destroyer down from the sky, and then Romantic could not shoot it down. All right, gonna try and re-engage again, but once more, another entangle, and really nothing there to attack. The Forest Troll Trappers are actually gift wrapping the destroyer and making it so Romantic cannot shoot them out of the sky. We could be looking at some more engagements here. That one additional destroyer could be a difference as the Mountain King gets up to level 2. Archmage just shy of 3. All right, possible engagement here. Mountain King down to 400 hit points. Could try and fight back. Are we going to see a potion of invulnerability? Yes, we do. Archmage continuing to fight here. Are we going to see a potion transfer? Yes, we are. And the Archmage, forced to use the Scroll of Town portal. Destroyer, the water elemental going to be able to finish it off. No. Destroyer able to escape at 19 hit points. And now going to try and perhaps re-engage again. All right, there was a run-by shooting there. And now with no longer a sight up on the high ground, this does come as a bit of a curious position. Lich could try and shoot down take down that red drake. There are a couple of crypt fiends nearby. Web could come in play. We are at tier 3. We are getting up animal war training. We do already have level 1 weapon upgrades. No additional upgrades to be had just quite yet. Meanwhile, fly machines do not have the bombard upgrade. We can see that both Sundering Blades and animal war training is being trained as we are going into a triple Griffin Aviary. Romantic having such a strong economy, he can actually afford to go triple Griffin Aviary as he's sitting on 2,000 gold compared to Happy's 600. That is going to be a very big difference indeed if it can actually translate out onto the battlefield. Red Drake about to get shot down. There it goes. There's, True Shot Aura for the all of these range units. As we're still engaging here, Archmage does also have a Scroll of Town portal. Can get out of this dicey spot here pretty quickly. There's a Stormbolt onto the Lich. More footmen getting taken down. I believe that was a Staff of Sanctuary. Water Elemental gets taken down by the creep camps as the Death Knight now finishing off the remainder of this Ogre Magi, Forest Troll Berserker, and Ogre Warrior creep camp. Level 4, well, soon to be level 4, level 3 now, as the Mountain King chases down a skeletal minion. That gets finished off. Mountain King Archmage still sitting at level 4. Flying machines could try and engage. Still no bombard upgrade, but currently getting researched as we see a large number of Griffin Aviaries ready to just train up a large number of units. Death Knight, Dark Ranger will not level up here. Archmage, Mountain King trying to get into position, perhaps going to Stormbolt, finish things off here. You can see that Acolyte having quite a bit of damage. There's the Death Coil Frost Nova, I believe, onto the Archmage. Archmage, Mountain King tries to stay within range, and it does retreat back just in time again. Now, what can be said about these flying machines? How are they going to engage? Also, what is Happy doing? Happy has a number of necromancers, and he has meat wagons out on the battlefield ready to summon up a pop-up army. Necromancers and meat wagon. That's going to be a large number of skeletal minions that are just swarming around the field. Meanwhile, Paladin sits at level 1 ready to make a bit of a move. Archmage, Mountain King, Paladin getting ready to regroup together. 72 supply now compared to 60 as we are seeing triple Griffin areas training up units and also getting that adept training on the Priest Creep Camp. Nothing off over here. All right, let's get going. Arcane Tower going to get cleaned up. Units trying to fall back here, perhaps trying to finish off a couple of Necromancers or some units, other units in transit. A lot of damage to be had here. Guard Towers trying to protect, but not really working nearly as effectively, as there are just so many corpses now on the ground that the skeletal minions can easily just bring them up, prop up a large number. Scroll of Town Portal inbound here to try and protect skeletal mages, and skeletal minions continuing to attack here. There's a teleport back to the other side. Low hit point or griffins, or crippled griffins, trying to fight their way through under the cover of this guard tower. This army looking surprisingly large, as the skeletal mages able to do their work and continue with that pressure. 2-0 upgrades on the Griffin Riders, though. Essentially 2.75 because of that true shot aura. But Happy is just able to stand outside of this front door and is just constantly lobbing damage and slowly whittling away at the human base. All right, we're looking at 70 over 70 supply. Romantic already supply blocked, and then will end up becoming upside down on supply, and meaning he's going to take quite a bit of time to train up any additional units. The Griffins are trying to engage here, trying to find the right window of opportunity. Level 3 now on the Mountain King. Fly Machines looking to come over and engage. There is not enough. There's no destroyers anywhere, as the Griffins are now going after the Necromancers, as the Death Knight gets up into level 4 and able to get a big Death Coil off onto a low hit point Griffin. All right, both sides still fighting their way through. Low hit point Obsidian statues could easily get burst down to 20 hit points. It's going to get easily taken down. There goes one Obsidian statue. One more Obsidian statue could get taken down right there. No, Mountain King decides not to give chase. Could just get... Wow, that Obsidian statue bothering me so much, but there are so many other high priority targets to take out. It's difficult to figure out why. There's a Holy Light and Holy Light Stormbolt, a nasty 1-2 combination, finishing off the Dark Ranger, and we're still looking at more damage to get added in. There's a Death Coil for a Savior. Dark Ranger gets resurrected. Mountain King could try and come back go after all of these units. There's going to be another Stormbolt. Water Elemental being summoned up. There goes the Obsidian statue, as 31 supply compared to 60. Romantic has completely caught Happy off guard with the sudden tech swap change, and is still pursuing pretty heavily. All right, some more Holy Light coming across here. Lich trying to escape away. Mountain King does have Boots of Speed, but doesn't have enough mana for a bullet in the chamber. There's a Scroll of Town Portal to get away, and that looks like it will be successful without losing any additional units. 4-3-2 compared to 4-4-4. Undead army with 3 level 4 heroes, as the main gold mines still have about 5 minutes of mining left. However, Happy only has about 2.5 minutes of mining left. He is going into the unsummoned buildings scenario to try and claw his way back into this game. No Obsidian statues either mean that the Lich and the Death Knight and the Dark Ranger have a lot of work to do if they want to try and get a little bit more mana. Mountain King ready to rush on in, has 2 bullets in the chamber, going to go straight for a Necromancer, takes it down without a problem, and now finishing off the Null Wardens here. Meanwhile, in the center portion of the map, Happy could look to set up an expo in just a moment. A couple of easy Sea Turtles gives the Lich level 5. So 5-4-4 compared to a 4-3-3 right now, with the Archmage about to hit level 4 or level 5 as well. Okay, Acolyte pulling away. We're looking at Archmage, Griffins, Mountain King, Paladin on the move out across the battlefield. Archmage picks up, I would have thought, a Scroll of Healing or something. Don't see anything just quite yet. 2-1 upgrades now on those Griffins. 70 supply compared to 49. Happy is trying to make do with what he's got, and what he has is not going to amount to much with only a minute of mining left. All right, it is going to be Romantic's job to try and hold off the undead army, keep him at bay, and not allow him to get up any additional bases. If he's able to do that, this game will definitely tip in favor of Romantic. Of course, Happy is thinking about every which possible way he can break through and get this game back on equal footing economically. All right, Guard Tower quickly taken down. About 1,800 gold left. Necromancers, meat wagons here all ready to go. Gonna summon up a couple more skeletal minions and mages out here on the battlefield. And those peasants are just gonna feed the destruction of this army. Meanwhile, up on the top right, there is no more mining here either. Are we gonna see some holy lights here? That griffin down to about 342 hit points. It needs to be backed up here. That is a lot of damage from this Nerubian tower, dealing all of that piercing damage. All right, base race scenario normally favors the one who has the most buildings, and that is definitely going to be the case, as Romantic's Expo looks extremely well defended with a lot of, well, farms and buildings protecting these guard towers. All right, Happy going to lose this Black Citadel. Paladin, is he going to get to level 3? Yes, he gets the level 3 off of the Black Citadel. Black Citadel does count as a tower of sorts, as now it is 5-3-3 going up against 5-4-4. Romantic down on hero levels, but should be able to stick around in this battle. However, there are so many skeletal minions and mages here that this damage cannot just be ignored. So much damage, dealing what 12 to 14 range damage at an average speed, able to attack and, well, finish off some of these peasants. All right, coming back around, we can see that a necropolis is being built right in the middle of the base, or right in the middle of the map here in front of this shop. 517, well, 38 over 0 supply going up against 72 over 60. Human definitely behind here, or excuse me, definitely ahead here. Romantic trying to clean up all of these last buildings, as we see the Dragonhawk Riders finding this necropolis and trying to poke it down. All right, that's quite a bit of damage. You're going to see one gargoyle make its way over, perhaps try and finish things. There is a shackle there, low hit point Dragonhawk Riders. There's a death coil, and wow, that Dragonhawk Rider still able to survive and retreat back. 38 supply compared to 68. Both sides about the same. We're looking at another necropolis getting summoned on the other side of the building, or other side of the mountain, so to speak. And this other side necropolis could be huge. It is the last building left by Happy, and Happy is using it to right now stay alive. Preventing or defending your building so you have presence on the map is everything right now, as the Dragonhawk Riders quickly will run into a Frost Nova and have a bit of an issue. Coming back down to the south here, Water Elemental trying to finish off this necropolis. Necropolis is going to stand without much of a problem. Dragonhawk Riders are in position. There's a shackle, and well, there goes a gargoyle again. Meanwhile, skeletal mages with their range piercing damage are still causing problems and issues. 66 supply now compared to 36. Necropolis here is done. This is the last building, and we are now down to 1,000 hit points and holding steady, continuing to pierce or put more pressure onto these buildings again and again. Dark Ranger able to back up. Skeletal mages all getting destroyed. Are we seeing some more damage come on through? And that is going to be the game. Romantic outlasting Happy in this base race by, well, simply mining a lot more gold and being able to hold on to it and not feed experience to his opponent too much. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.